still learning Zoom. Okay, we're recording on this computer. So it's February 24th, 2020, and this is a friendly presentation by your friend Gordon here in the beautiful southern New Hampshire on Healy. And I'm going to keep this low key and friendly. This is the first time I've introduced Healy to anybody except a couple friends. And I may be a little bit disjointed in some of the resources we're going to jump around and look at tonight, but I'll probably do this every Monday. It'll get better every week. And anything I don't know, I'll get an answer and get back to you. But I wanted to have a couple of disclaimers right up front so you know where I'm coming from. This is not a sales presentation. I'm not here to pitch Healy, and I'm not here to pitch network marketing per se. I'm here to introduce you to something that I think is truly a game changer in the very real and overused sense of that term. And there's an opportunity to do some really great things here because they're going to launch in the United States on April 2nd. So we've got another, whatever it is, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks to promote this to the extent that we want to. So I want to kind of take you through what the heck is this? What does it look like? What does it do? What's its science? What's its basis? What's it based on? Where did it come from? How long has it been around? Why have none of us heard about this before? And then towards the end, I am going to show you how you can refer this to other people, even if that's just to get a couple of sales and basically get your own unit paid for, and have no desire to take it any further than that, which would be totally up to you. And I also wanted to say right up front, because you're all friends, and I really believe in transparency and disclosure. Some of what you're going to see tonight is specifically geared to solve many of the same health issues and sometimes crises that Beamer also addresses. Now, I've had a Beamer for 2 years. I absolutely love it. I use it every day, use it twice a day. I sleep on the program every night. And the changes that I've had, I could spend a week telling you what I've experienced over the last 2 years. Beamer specifically is geared to enhance microcirculation in the body, to get your red blood cells to every one of your 100 trillion cells. And once you do, a lot of things start happening. Your body starts healing itself literally from the inside out. And healing is a process, and it works beautifully, but it can take weeks, it can take months. And it's not an inexpensive unit. And quite honestly, I wish everybody had a Beamer in their home for the whole family to use. I'll have mine for 20 or 30 years. It's literally a dynastic or generational, whatever the word is, purchase. But it's expensive for many families these days, and that has been a real prohibitive for many people to be able to, frankly, to afford to own one. So what I'm going to show you now is not, there's some overlap, and I want to position this carefully, because this is not meant to be, oh, well, if you can't afford a Beamer, get one of these, because they're much less expensive. No, it's not that at all. This is very different, very specific, extremely effective, very targeted, and is really going to change the game for a lot of people in terms of their health and just being able to function. Healy, where do I begin? Healy is a wearable medical device, and you're looking right at it right there on the screen. It's about half the size of a cell phone, a little smaller. It's got a plastic chassis around it. It's very, very lightweight. They say wearable. You can wear it on a lanyard around your neck, but you could tuck it in a pocket, an inside pocket. And it connects to your body with non-intrusive little electrodes, like the kind that you use for an EKG, like a little rubber cup that just sticks to your skin. You could put it on your arm. You could put it wherever you choose to put it. Don't tell me, it's a little humor there. But nobody be able to see that you're even using it. You could be in church and running a program. You could be out at dinner. You could be at business, at the office, whatever. And it's based on enhancing the voltage potential across the cell membrane in every cell in your body. Now, I had no idea how I was going to do this presentation tonight, so I'm going to kind of jump ahead a little bit, and forgive me if I get out of sequence, but I think I'll say it right here. I remember being in high school biology, and we learned about the cell. Remember, they taught us ATP and the mitochondria and all that stuff. They made us memorize all the parts. And I remember asking my teacher, well, if the cell's this little thing with a wall around it, how does anything get in or out? And the answer was permeability. And all cell membranes are semi-permeable. And that's how compounds and chemicals and hormones and oxygen and everything diffuses in or out of the cell according to the electrical potential across the cell wall. And it's based on ions. Everything either has a slight potential plus or minus charge. That's how waste gets out. That's how oxygen and all the good stuff gets in, et cetera. So I remember that. And that all came back to me when I started digging in and reading Healy's scientific literature. I'm not going to try to do that in a very short presentation tonight, but I'm going to show you where you can go and learn all that in your own personal time for yourself. But once I saw the diagram, which we'll see in a little while, about what the ideal voltage potential is in a healthy cell compared to a malignant cell or an aging or sick cell, it all made perfect sense. And so this technology is decades old. And the company, the parent company, Time Waiver, has been around for 13 years. And they've got units that they sell for $50,000 that are big industrial frequency generation units for health and wellness. What is unique here is that this is the first company worldwide that has come out with that same technology micro miniaturized into a unit that you can actually wear and use at home yourself at a price that's affordable. Now, just to get that out of the way, this is a German company, and everything they price is in euros. Even if they pay you a commission, it's in euros. Of course, when it comes to the United States, it gets converted into dollars because that's where we are in the US. And the basic package is between 500 to 700 euros, which translates to around 540 to 750 thereabouts US dollars. Now that fluctuates a little bit every day. I know because I've been trading currency for 20 years. Actually, that's what we do for a living, is we trade the fluctuations. But so this is very much in the price range for most people, frankly, because the minimum payment on a credit card is about 3% of whatever your balance is. So if you're in the range of say $500, $600, $700, that's going to be $15, $20 a month, which is far less than $1 a day. So that's a game changer in terms of accessibility to most people as well. So let's just take a look at some of these slides. They have this huge presentation, like 60 slides. What I'm going to show you is a fraction of what they offer. There are 4 different programs that go into just amazing amount of stuff. I'm just going to keep it really simple and talk about the primary reason why most people would want one of these and the reason why it was approved by the FDA to enter into the United States, which is primarily for pain management. That is what it's been. Excuse me one sec. I talked almost all day today, so I'm a little bit hoarse. Let's go to the next slide. More than 500,000 applications on clients and patients with Time Waiver, that's the parent company, and Healy technology. So this device you're looking at has been out now for about 2 years. It's currently in 40 countries. You'll see a map of where in a little while. And it says that more than 2,000 doctors, practitioners, and therapists are treating their patients with this technology right now. This is a medical product by Healy GmbH. That's a German company. It's a Class 2A medical device approved in the European Union. Here's its declaration of conformity. Now, if you'd like me to, I'll send you this. I took the basic huge long PowerPoint presentation and deleted 90% of the slides and boiled it down to something really quick and simple I could just go through and hit the high points, which I'm going to do right now. But I'll put this up on the website. If you want to download it yourself, you can go back and you can read all this to your heart's content and really dig in. Meeting the highest level standards. I guess these are European standards that I'm not familiar with. And a little bit about the people behind it, how it works, why life is better. The Healy works through a very low level Bluetooth communication with an app that's installed on your smartphone. And I'll get into how those work together here in just a second. Okay, the disclaimer, but it's actually useful to read the first paragraph. It's a medical device for the treatment of pain in chronic pain, fibromyalgia, skeletal pain, and migraine, as well as for the supportive treatment of mental illnesses such as depression, anxiety, and related sleep disorders. Now, this is what they have to say to make the FDA happy. All other applications are not recognized by conventional medicine due to lack of evidence in the sense of conventional medicine. But the evidence in the form of testimonials by thousands of people in 40 other countries for 2 years now is stunning. And I've got some of the best videos I could find, the shortest I could find, I put up on a very quick website that I'll introduce you to in a couple of minutes, just to spare everybody from having to try to learn this overnight. This is the wearable watch, which also coordinates with the Healy unit and the phone app, and I'll explain that a little bit as we go. The Healy watch makes Healy a closed feedback system for mind and body, measures your bioenergetic state, determines which frequency programs are best for you at any given moment. This is just really amazing. Measuring contains the latest hardware, precise measurements, evaluations, sophisticated algorithms, et cetera, et cetera. And let's skip on. Now, the way it actually connects to your body is with electrodes. And it doesn't mean you're sticking anything into your skin. It's basically like you see this with this gal up here on the side of her neck. It's just this little rubber cup that you just put it on your skin anywhere. Now, I was told just 2 nights ago, I spoke to the top Healy distributor, one of the top ones in the entire company. It's a gentleman named Stefano, who I think is Portuguese and is currently living in the Philippines. And I got to ask him some really good questions just Saturday night. And he said, for whatever regulatory reasons, the ear clips will not be available in the US. I have no idea why. But there is a bracelet. You can see it right here on this man's wrist. And there are these little things you can stick on your body literally anywhere you want to. Now, I spoke earlier about the cell membrane voltage. And I'll get back and go into this in a little more detail a little bit later. But this is a little chart that shows that when the electric potential across the cell starts to diminish with age or with disease, the cell can't function. Now, I read a book. I'm sure this was the correct book. It was called, it's a great name. It's called How Not to Die. It was the name of the book. And the author discusses all these different modalities, health and wellness modalities, alternative, which shouldn't be. They should be the ones that are mainstream, in my opinion, and the allopath should be the alternative, but that's just me, that are really they're real and effective, although not very well known. And the author made the point that the health of the body is the health of the electrical potential in the body. That basically, once your battery runs down, that's it, lights out, I guess all puns intended. So the more I learn about this, the more I understand what it's actually doing. I won't say electrifying, but it's bringing the correct potential in the cell back up to its optimal operating level, as in a very healthy person and also in a very young person. And people who, some of the testimonial videos I've seen were people who have head splitting migraine. Imagine, I just feel such sympathy. I've never had that. There's this pain scale 0 to 10. I mean, you're looking at something that's 8, 9, and living with that, even at 5 or 6, can be just disabling. Having to drag yourself through every day, and all of a sudden, you use this technology, and it goes away. And people start crying and they freak out. They say, what is this? Where did you find this? What the heck? I've never heard about this before. And it all begins there. And once you own one of these, you can actually go around and scan, quote unquote, your family members. And there are some videos that I've seen where someone would say, I went to a party, I had my friends come over, and I went around and I scanned them all. And people's response would be, oh my God, I don't believe this. That's exactly what's wrong with me. How did it know? How could it possibly know? Oh my God, And then you run a couple of the programs, and immediately they feel relief. It's like, I got to get one of these. So it's got a huge, obviously, amount of appeal to people. This is some side just comments. Increases ATP production, which is literally the power plant inside every cell, up to 500%. Protein synthesis, amino acid transport. Again, you can come back and read all these fine points yourself later. Quantum sensor for analysis of the frequencies in the bioenergetic field. And try to say that 3 times fast. 144,000 frequencies, and it knows just which ones to beam into your body and to monitor them, and for how long, and what amplitude, and when to switch to the next one. This is really some sophisticated stuff. Just some feedback. This isn't that big, long PowerPoint. The primary reasons why people use it, pain is number 1. And that makes sense because that's what it's marketed for. Regeneration, health prevention, stress, chronic complaints, and on down the list it goes. How often do you use it? 80% daily. Another 20% combined as required, or every 2 to 3 days. So it looks like the people who have this, it's actually being adopted into their life, and they're actually using it on a regular basis. Number of applications until effect. How many applications in total until a positive effect has been noticed? And you'll see from the pie chart, that just 3 applications, and that could be 3 in the same day, that could be over a 2-day period or over a 3-day period, fully half the people are noticing almost immediate results. And even up to 7 to 10, I mean, it's basically what they're saying in a nice way is everybody is noticing results, and very, very quickly. And then this makes the point that they have apps for fitness. Believe it or not, they have apps for learning. There's even an app, a program, I should call it a program, I'm sorry, for stage fright and performance anxiety, for jet lag. If you've been up all night cramming for an exam, anything that shifts your electrical, I'll say, homeostasis out of whack, it will detect that within your body, communicate that to the app on your phone, beam it up to the cloud, analyze it with AI, go back down to your phone and tell you which apps you need to run right now to correct that imbalance. I mean, this is basically Star Trek. You know, and this is, we're there. It's the, what was it, the tricorder on Star Trek? It's kind of like, maybe this is the tricorder. So here's a little bit about Healy. Some people know, where are they? Well, they're in Berlin. There's their offices, and you can learn all about how long they've been around and what they do. And some of these people, this woman right here in particular, you'll find her all over YouTube, Dr. Carolyn McMacken, clinical director of the Myofascial Pain Clinic in Portland, Oregon, developer of the frequency-specific microcurrent method, author of papers on fibromyalgia, neuropathic pain syndrome. Just, I've seen some of her presentations, really smart lady. So this is based on physiological processes that have been known for a long time. And here are some more of the people and their what's the word, their curriculum vitae, however you pronounce that. Here's just some of the components that are involved, the different apps that you can run. And yeah, now then we get into the business opportunity. So let me show you what I've got here that I wanted to make you aware of. So first of all, let me say this. Let me reframe this just so we're all on the same planet. You know how when you go to a website if you haven't been to before, and you go to checkout, the checkout shopping cart, some sites will say, do you want to form an account right now with us so you can get on our mailing list and get, you know, updates and so forth? Or do you want to check out as a guest? And you don't have to give them your any of your personal information other than what they'll see for your billing information. What Healy does, it treats everyone as a potential customer. So even if you want, if you have to buy a unit from a distributor, they call them partners. And I actually like that term. So they've now gone into 40 countries, rolling out through relationship marketing. And that's really the new term for network marketing. It's the same principle. It's word of mouth marketing. And basically, the process is they put the individual into the distribution supply line. So instead of all the profits going up to the parent company, the individual has an opportunity to refer it and to benefit from their efforts, and then to build a business to whatever extent they want to. So the opportunity here right now, between now and April 2nd, is to sign up with Healy. And you can put the credit card away. There's no money involved at all. You can't even buy anything right now. There's no fee to sign up. You literally go to a link, which I would send you, and you enter your information, give yourself your handle, whatever you want to call yourself, you know, Honey Bear. I mean, I'm GP Solutions Consulting, but just pick one that no one else is using. And you're now in the back office. And what you get for free is a completely replicated website, just like the one you're looking at right now. So in the upper right-hand corner, there's my little handle right there to tell me that you're at my site. Now, if you come around, I'll say, to the back door of this site, the same exact site, you're taken to the referral page. So if I send you the referral link, you see it up here that has my GP Solutions as the extension of the domain name. This is where you go through the process to enter your information and sign up. So now you're in Healy's computer system. What are you obligated to do? Nothing. You're not obligated to buy anything now or ever in the future, or to ever refer another human being. If you would have 6 weeks to study this process, educate yourself, watch a ton of videos and presentations and PDFs and scientific papers. And if for any reason you didn't want to be involved, just don't do anything, and the computer will probably drop you by the end of April, would be a good guess. And if you do decide to purchase a unit, that would really just get you started. That's just that simple. So there's no downside to doing this, and there's no commitment, and there's no obligation. Now, to put my business hat on now and talk business building, if you have any interest at all in doing this for an extra cash flow from home, and that's what we're all about at the Financial Reality Network. So I really don't need to apologize for saying this. It's just that I didn't want this presentation tonight to look like hey, it's a brand new MLM. It's going to go crazy. Let's get all your friends. We're all going to make a ton of money. I'm not coming from that place at all. What I can say with complete, well, I think it's just definitely true. This is an established company. They've already gone through, I'm sure, all the bumps that these companies go through, rolling out in 40 other countries. So they've got all their processes in place. I'm told they've already shipped 1 million units into the United States in anticipation of the launch on April 2nd. And they have, this is unheard of, this technology, the effect it's going to have on people. There's no competition. There's nothing like it that everybody I've spoken to who's above me in the plan has said, no, it's all true. There's nothing like it. Not that we won't have competition down the road, and that's actually a healthy thing. But right now, there's nothing else out there. And we have 5 or 6 weeks to build a team, pre-stage a team, if you choose to, up to you. And when they do launch, it could produce some significant cash flow almost immediately to the extent that you would want to do that. It might be just enough to get your own unit paid for, maybe buy a couple of extra ones for friends and family. Now, what I did is I put up a really quick website. When I learned about this, I said, if I send people to this site, everybody gets one of these sites for free. Again, I want to repeat that, it's totally free. There's a ton of information on this site. Typically it's people look at it and their brain, their mind fogs over and they say, I'll never get to this, so they don't even get started. And I thought, okay, if I'm going to try to get moving quickly with this and help some people, I'm going to do what I always do and put up a real quick, super simple website that just has the bare bones. And that's what I did. I created this site, which is called thescienceofhealy.com. When you come to the homepage, it's got a picture of it, minimal content, a 2-minute introductory video, how it works, and then there's several places where it says, click here to learn more. Now, if you click there, it takes you right to the front of the free site they gave me. If you click the second box, it takes you around to the back of the site where there's the enrollment page to sign up. Okay, just so you see how this works. I created a frequently asked questions page, and I've started every time I get a new question, say, great, I have no idea. I'll get back to you. I'm learning. This is only a week old for me, so I'm still very new. And let's take a minute and read this together. This is really the only content on the entire site. It says, Healy's functional principle is based on the principle that many diseases or dysfunctions in the body are caused by an unnaturally reduced cell membrane voltage. The voltage difference between the cell interior and the cell interspace is too small. A healthy cell shows a value of approximately -70 millivolts. A lower potential than this leads to disturbed metabolism, results in diseases and health problems. By introducing currents into the body, Healy's designed to bring the voltage back into the healthy physiological range. These currents are very low in the range of a few microamperes. It goes on and says this is called frequency therapy, has thousands of programs, experience of many years of practice with thousands of patients. Electrical frequencies are the language of cell communication, the key, if you will, that opens connections and functions in the body. In more medical terms, we would say that metabolism and cell division, the energy production of the cell's ATP, and the synthesis of proteins are meant to be stimulated by frequency therapy. And then you've got the usual disclaimers. So that's basically, and then down here are some incredible testimonials. This is only 4 minutes long. This is 3 minutes long. These are absolutely, I urge you to watch these YouTube videos, because this will say more than everything I've said so far. Seeing people's reaction and what's actually happening when they use it. This one was heart-wrenching. Father with, I think he said his son was 21 years old, had advanced autism, was basically unable to function, couldn't speak, started treating him with Healy, and almost overnight, everything changed. And I'll let you watch the video for yourself. This is a gentleman, he's on a deck of, I guess, his apartment or condo on a beach in Florida. He looked like he was in his 60s, I would guess. And he said he had cold feet and high blood sugar and cold feet, and he had neuropathy, had pain and sensitivity in the bottom of his feet. He dealt with it his whole life. And within 1 week, it was gone. And right on the camera, he pricks his finger with one of those do-it-yourself blood test kits, swipes it on a little meter, and holds the meter right up to the camera, and it shows his blood sugar level, and it's like in totally normal range. And he's flipping out over Healy. So they don't promote it as being specifically for diabetes or high blood sugar, but obviously it's regulating functions in the body. This is, I think, 50 minutes long. This is that gal, Carol Macon, talking in great scientific detail about the physiological basis behind how the frequencies work, and you can watch that. And this is that same couple we saw up on the beach in the video up higher, and he's laughing, saying that he was at a party with 35 of his friends, and he went around and scanned every one of them, and they're all just completely, to use his words, freaking out, and they all want to get a Healy. So what I did this afternoon, before I knew I'd be speaking to everybody tonight, was I added one more page to the site, and I labeled it resources. And these are all PDFs that you can just right-click and download every one of these. And I dropped them into Chrome just so you could see what they look like. And this is a quick page on the science of Healy. This is the frequency application manual. This is a mind blower. This takes you right through all of the different programs and frequencies and how they work, and it's a lot of information. I haven't even read this whole thing yet myself. This is a little bit for investors. It said, you know, wouldn't you want to know who the people who started this are? So this guy was one of the founders of the legendary Superfund Investment Group. I guess they're all a bunch of heavy hitters in corporate America. I don't know yet exactly what all of their connections are to the world of energy healing, but I guess we'll all learn that in time. These are some of the programs that Healy runs, and then this is a little bit about the watch and the specs of the watch. So there's a ton of good information. So this site, again, is The Science of Healy, and as you can see, Healy doesn't have an E between the L and the Y. It's just heal with a Y on the end. Now, one thing I did do on this resources page is I made a 5-minute long video to explain to people how to enroll. So if you come back to this page right here, it starts out by asking you who your sponsor is. Well, that's GP Solutions Consulting, that's me. And then you get right to a page that wants your VAT. Well, this is all in Europe. We don't have a value-added tax in the United States. We don't have a VAT number. Then another page asks for your international banking information. It's called your ABAN, A-B-A-N number, and your SWIFT Fedwire. Well, from what I understand, even though they're launching April 2nd, all payments coming to America, right now, everybody in the world, 40 other countries where this is operating, all over the planet, are getting paid from Germany. Well, to get paid from Germany into the US, we have to go down to our local bank and say, hey, I'm going to be getting paid from this German company, and I need your little local banks, nickel and dime and little tiny Milford here. What's the ABAN number? We've all been asked for our routing and account number for online payments. This is the same thing, except it's when it's international. Now, you don't have that information now, but you don't need it. So the point of the little video I made was when you get to those forms, those fields on these pages, just ignore them. It'll let you keep going next. You'll get to the final page and it'll say, do you want to register? And it says, yes. They won't ask you for a credit card. And now you have your own website, just like I do. We would be in the same, literally, none of us can buy this yet. Again, I'm repeating myself. This is all preliminary, and this is 6 weeks from now. And it looks like they were going to launch in February, then they moved the launch date to April 2nd. And I asked Stefano on the phone a couple nights ago, he says, cross your fingers, but it looks right now like it is going to be a hard date of April 2nd. So again, on the resource pages on the site that I created, this little video right here will take you through screenshots of what I just showed you, how to fill it out. Now, once you do that, you'll have what you're looking at right here. You'll have your own, actually it's right here. You'll have your own page, your own replicated site that's branded to you. And anytime you send someone this URL right here, it'll take them right to this page where they can register, and they can register completely for free. And you can tell them there's no obligation. You don't have to do anything at all, and you never will have to do anything. It's just pre-staging to the extent that you want to get involved in advance. This is very rare that we would have this much time, lead time, to see something amazing coming, where with a little bit of initiative, you could pre-position yourself to really benefit from it. And if that doesn't interest you at all, that's totally fine. They will come into the US, the units will start to be available, and if all you want to do is just get in touch and buy a unit, and you don't want to put your name into any database, that's totally fine too.